What's up, guys? This is me, Sir Ernest, and today we're going to have a virtual experiment entitled Inductance, VRL circuits. Experiments conducted by Michael Faraday in England in 1831 and independently by Joseph Henry in the United States that same year showed that an electromotive force can be induced in a circuit by a changing magnetic field. The results of these experiments led to the very basic and important law of electromagnetism known as Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, wherein it relates the EMF or electromotive force induced in a circuit uh, by various processes that involve a change in the magnetic flux. To see how an EMF can induced by a changing magnetic field, let's consider the following illustration. So here we have a loop of wire connected to an ammeter, and imagine you are holding a a bar magnet. So we already know that the bar magnet produces its own magnetic field, wherein it's stronger near the poles and it's weaker in the farther from the poles. So in this illustration, we see that the reading in the ammeter is 0. Therefore, it describes or it tells us that there is no current in the loop. However, if you're going to move the magnet to the left of toward the loop, so that means the region where the stronger magnetic field will pass through this area like this. So we'll notice that there is an increase in magnetic field across this loop. So therefore, there is an increase in magnetic flux. As a result of the change in the magnetic flux passing through this loop, there is now an induced current in this direction, and it is being read by your ammeter. The same thing happens when you move your magnet away from the loop, like this. Wherein, because of the direction of the magnet, which is to the right, opposite the direction of the earlier movement of the magnet, you will see that the induced current has an opposite sign. Okay, so this tells us that when you do this, the direction of the current changes in such a way that it follows a decreasing magnetic field. Now, this experiment, tells us that that an EMF is induced in a loop, uh, and that is directly proportional to the time rate of change of magnetic flux through the loop. We call this the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So you'll notice here that the EMF E is equal to the negative of the time derivative of the magnetic flux, where the magnetic flux is given by the integral of the dot product between the magnetic field and the area element vector of the loop. Okay, so you notice that there is a negative sign here. So this tells us that the direction of increasing magnetic flux, okay, tells us that the direction of the EMF is opposite that. So in this case, okay, you will notice that the direction of the increasing magnetic field is to the left. Okay, the direction of the current is actually dictated by what we call the Lenz law, where Lenz law states that the induced current and the induced EMF in a conductor are in such a direction as to set up a magnetic field that opposes the change in the magnetic flux. So in this example, the direction of the increasing magnetic flux is to the left. So therefore, the induced current in this loop should produce a magnetic field opposite in that direction. And it is illustrated here because the loop is going in this direction, as this current will produce a magnetic field by right-hand rule toward right or to the right. and that opposes the direction of the increasing magnetic field. Okay, so please remember that because we're going to use that in the experiment. Now, imagine we have a circuit, okay, a closed circuit like this, wherein the battery is in series with a resistor. So when we close the circuit like this, current will flow in this direction. By the way, this is your conventional current. And because current flows in this loop of wire, therefore it produces a magnetic field. Now, after the switch is closed, the current produces a magnetic flux through this area enclosed by the loop, this area. As the current increases towards its equilibrium value, this magnetic flux changes and induces an EMF. And the direction of that EMF by Lenz's law is such a way that the magnetic flux through the loop will induce a current that is opposite to the current produced by the battery. So in this case, it will produce in the opposite direction. We call that the back EMF. So that means the effect of this is that there is what we call self-induction. And that leads us to the back EMF, also known as your self-inductance EMF. And it is given by this equation, where EL is the self-induced or self-inductance EMF, and that is equal to negative L times the derivative of I with respect to time, where L is what we call the inductance of the loop. Okay, so this inductance of the loop depends on the geometry of the loop and other physical characteristics, similar to your resistance. So if you have a loop, we can actually calculate the inductance of the loop based on its geometry and other physical characteristics. Okay, just like resistance of a resistor. Now, the SI unit of inductance is called Henry, wherein 1 Henry is equal to 1 volt-seconds per ampere, as noticed in this equation. Okay? So, imagine a circuit that has, given by this illustration. Okay? So, if a circuit contains a coil, okay, such as a solenoid, the inductance of the coil prevents the current in the circuit from increasing or decreasing instantaneously. So in this case, in our circuit here, this symbol represents an inductor. So any element in a circuit that has a large inductance is called an inductor. And this is the symbol. Okay? So we always assume that the inductance of the remainder of the circuit, in this case, the inductance of this coil or in this loop, is negligible compared to the inductance of this loop. Okay, now consider the circuit here wherein a battery is connected to a resistor, a single pole double throw switch, and a single switch like this, and an inductor. Okay, we call this circuit an RL circuit. Now, when I close this switch S1, okay, current will flow in the single loop. Okay, so because remember S2 is connected to terminal A. So that means when I close this loop, close the circuit, the current will flow in this direction. Okay, now because we only have, this is now considered to be a single loop circuit, therefore we can apply Kirchhoff's loop rule, wherein it states that in a closed loop, the total voltage or EMF is equal to 0. Again, so this is a conservation of energy statement. Because in this loop, we have 3 elements. So that's the voltage across the battery. That's your E. And then minus IR. That's the voltage across R. And the EMF induced in the inductor. That's equal to negative L derivative of I with respect to time, and this is equal to 0. Now, we can rewrite this as such, wherein we let x to be e over r minus I, so that dx is equal to negative di. So substituting this here in this equation, we can simplify this by this equation. This is a differential equation wherein we can easily solve by various techniques. So this is solved by integrating this way, and the end result is this one. So x is equal to x naught e to the negative rt over l, where x naught is the initial value of x at time equal to 0, and x is the value of x at time equal to t. Okay, so substituting back our definitions earlier, this equation is now equal to this, wherein we can simplify this as such, wherein this tells us how the current in this circuit changes with time. So you will notice that EI is equal to E over R times 1 minus e to the negative RT over L. Here we are going to define what we call the time constant tau, where it is equal to L over R. Okay, so this equation, if you're going to plot this equation, this will give us an exponentially increasing graph. Okay, so this tells us that because of the presence of the inductor, the current will not jump to E over R rapidly. Okay, so because of this, because of the presence of the inductor, the current in the circuit changes gradually. Okay, now what happens now if we're going to place this current, place this circuit to change the position of the circuit to B. Okay, if L is not present, this action will make the current in the circuit decrease rapidly. But because of the presence of the inductor, the changes in the current will be opposed by the induced EMF in the inductor. So let's see. Now when we draw the circuit, the switch 2 in this position, we notice that we now have a single loop circuit containing R and L. Again, if we're going to apply Kirchhoff's loop rule, we're given by IR plus L di over dt equals 0, which means that we can solve this equation by integrating and giving our result like this. So I as a function of time is equal to I naught e to the negative RT over L, where I naught is the initial current in the single loop circuit at initial time 0, and I is the current at a later time t. Okay, so this gives us this equation wherein L over R is what we call our time constant. And this is the graph of this equation. So as you will notice, when the switch 2 is placed in this direction, in this position, okay, the current I in the circuit does not decrease rapidly. Instead, it decreases exponentially like this. Okay, so the decrease in the current in the circuit decreases with time. And this is what we're going to observe in our experiment today. So, on the next video, I'm going to demonstrate to you the virtual laboratory and following this link. Okay, so please copy this link, and we're going to use this link to do our experiments. Okay, so for now, I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.